Catalin, Director of Technology at Cyber. He will speak today about how to correlate logs like a boss or how to create your own security information and event management.
Hello, everybody. Okay, great. So we can start the presentation. Hello, everybody. My name is Catalin, and I will be talking today about how to build an SIEM platform out of open source software. First of all, is anybody here that knows what an SIEM platform is? Could you please raise your hands? And do you currently operate one of these platforms? Yeah, great, thank you. So we have a couple of people that already probably know what I will be talking about. So let's start with a couple of words about myself and why I'm here talking to you about how to build your own SIEM. I'm basically, for all my career, I've been a developer. I've used PHP mostly to build web applications and all types of backend applications and security applications. In the last couple of years, I've built security applications that collect logs from different environments, from Windows, from Linux, and correlate the logs. Where I work at Cyborn, which is a security operations center based here in Romania. We develop custom security solutions for clients. This is our main differentiator, that we build the whole infrastructure tailored to the customer's needs. And whenever something bad happens, we also do intervene and do incident response. Okay, so let's get down to business. What an SIEM is? It's a security information and event management platform. Basically, what it does is collect logs from the infrastructure. It gathers everything in a big data platform and uses common format to put the data on, and then aggregates the data and alerts whenever something bad happens. It can be built with normal correlation that runs queries, or it can use machine learning or artificial intelligence to raise alerts. Those alerts can be analyzed by security analysts, and if an incident is found, then it can be managed through the platform. Also, for management, there usually is a reporting section that gives you the nice visualizations with graphs and pie charts and stuff like that. So why talk today about commercial versus free solutions? The commercial solutions are working out of the box or with very little customization. They work very good and have a lot of history working for big companies. The downside is that they cost a lot of money. ArcSight, Splunk, QRadar, they all cost upwards of $100,000 for the platform itself, and not included customization, because even if you pay for such a solution, you still need to do integrations and then have somebody watch it and resolve the alerts. On the other side, we have the free solutions, which still require a lot of attention and integration work, but you don't pay anything for the software itself. Here we have Alien Vault OS SIEM, which is an SIEM, a full-fledged SIEM, but it only works on one node and with a limited amounts of logs for the free version. You can then upgrade to the paid version, but that will pump up the costs. There is also Prelude SIEM, which is free, but it's also a bit limited in terms of scalability. And the third one, the solution that I'm going to show you today, is the Elastic Stack solution, which can ingest, using free software, thousands of events per second, and can be used for very small companies. Setting it up only takes a couple of minutes, and it can be scaled up to very big companies, multinational companies, and also very well-known companies use this platform for data analysis. Now we're going to go into each of the SIEM tasks and see how we can do that with available open source software. Log aggregation is built on the Elastic Stack. You can use beats, which are data shippers, as they call them. There are some basically agents that you install on your endpoints or on your servers. They send log lines to the database, or they can monitor files for changes. AuditBit can, for example, monitor changes in permissions on files or file creations in folders. This can be very helpful in monitoring, for example, ransomware attacks. After you install beats, these send the data to Logstash, which can be seen as a message broker. It can parse the data, enrich it, and add, for example, geolocation. If you have, let's say, a web server and you have the IPs of your visitors, you can add geolocation to those IPs and see on the maps where your visitors are coming from. All the data is there stored in Elasticsearch, which is a big data platform, NoSQL database, basically. For correlation and alerting, you can use 411, which is an open source project made by Etsy, which is a marketplace for handmade products. This platform is basically written in PHP. What it does is it runs queries on the database every couple of minutes or whenever you ask it to do so. And it raises alerts, which it can send over email or post to a Slack channel, or if you're into PHP, you can. The code base is very limited, so you can easily build your own plugins for it. You can integrate it with whatever ticketing system you have in place. For example, we built a custom plugin for the next ticketing system that I will show you, and it raises tickets by itself and assigns SLAs to tickets. It can do a lot of stuff. It uses a special query language, which includes joins and aggregations like you would have in a more traditional SQL database. For analysis and reporting, you can use Kibana, which is the data visualization platform from the Elastic Stack. The good thing about it is that you can create your own dashboards and see the data almost in live as it comes into the platform. You can see event counts, you can do aggregations and see all types of graphs that can be nice for reporting, but also help you with debugging. As a bonus, the incident management platform. DRT is an incident management platform that is open source and it's very powerful. You can use that to do ticketing, to hold there all the information about the incident that happened in the network. You can add the things that you did in response to the incident and also log the lessons learned from the incident. Now for use cases. So basically this is a big data platform. You can be used as a security analytics, but I think that in the beginning it was thought of as um, big data platform that could store logs and be used to debug applications. For example, if you have, I'll come back to the example I gave with the website. If you have a website, you can see here logs for access or for error. And when you have a bug in your application, it doesn't necessarily mean it's an incident or a security incident. It can be just an error that generates a lot of false positives, or it generates a lot of logs, or it breaks your application. You can see here everything in one place. You don't need to go to all the websites if it's a distributed web application on multiple web servers. You can see everything in one location. Also, you can use it for monitoring. If you use metric bits installed on the servers, you can see things like CPU load, or memory load, or disk load, or even disk storage capacity. You can have everything under one pane of glass. The security analytics is, of course, the most important thing. And now I'm going to show you a bit of a demo on how the 411 platform works. But because I know everything breaks when you do demos, I actually recorded it before. Okay, so this is the Kibana interface. A thing to mention here is that what you see here is an older version of Kibana. It's 6.8. The 411 application uses an older version of the PHP framework for talking to Elasticsearch, so it doesn't work for Elasticsearch over 7.0. It only works with up to 6.8. So this is why I'm showing you the 6.8 version of Kibana and Elasticsearch. This is the interface where you can see the logs being shipped in, and you can see the timeline of how many logs you get per minute. These are authentication logs from one demo web server. And you can see it line by line with added data like host name and the source of the log. Next, we're going to 411, which has a nice web interface. On the first screen, you can see all the alerts raised. And then on the searches, you can generate a new search. There are different types of searches that you can generate. You can use Elasticsearch to query Elasticsearch, but you can also do, for example, ping sweeps. You can send a ping every minute or every 10 minutes and see if the application is up and running. Or you can do HTTP requests for a specific API, for example, and see if everything works as it would be expected. Okay, so for generating the alert, you have the title, which will be the subject of the email that you receive whenever the search is being raised. And then for the query itself, you can use a string. For example, this is just the very basic, the most basic example that I could give. It's a string from an authentication log, which just says that the session has been successfully created for a user. And running this query will generate alerts whenever a user successfully authenticates to one of the servers that you monitor. The logs that we currently have in this platform are full of cron jobs. So you'll see a lot of hits for this query. In a real life scenario, you would have to water down the results using specific users or excluding the cron indicator. You can also add tags to the searches for specific servers. You can add them in different categories and set priorities to them, so you can always know what's the first one to look at. In the platform, you can add people that are in charge of alerts and assign specific searches to different people that are responsible for different, let's say, parts of the network, for example. And you can also, if you only use this for alerting and don't want to use it as a ticketing system, you can enable auto close, which erases the search a couple of minutes after it's been generated. Okay, now we tested it. It generated a lot of alerts. It shows the lines of the logs. It's a bit blurry. Sorry about that. We've created a search, and in order to not wait for a couple of minutes for it to generate an alert, that's the inbox. And now we'll run it, we'll execute the search. It will generate new alerts every minute, but I generated one now just to show that it works and it sends you an email. It sends an email with specific log lines that triggered the alert. So you have in just one message all the data that you need to start your investigation or to see what's wrong with the system. Okay, so this was basically the presentation. If you have any questions. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention.